did you do?
I did nothing. The credit is yours.
When you hear a new game is coming from BioWare, you brace yourself. This is a company that delivers compelling and interesting stories, where every companion is alive and so much more than a character class. The choices are never black and white, and the consequences can reach far further than you ever imagined. It requires an investment both in time and emotion that pulls you in and sticks with you long after. Welcome to Dragon Age Inquisition.
The pulses are coming faster now.
I want to preface this review a bit. Often I remind readers that I do not include spoilers in my reviews, but it's all the more critical when the decisions carry this much weight. Anything of consequence in terms of story that I'll say in my review is already present in my preview. While I have completed the main story thread, there are easily over 100 hours of this game that I've not uncovered. I'll talk about the mechanics, pacing, and some very broad strokes on the overall game, but I absolutely will not spoil anything for you. This is a game that you need to experience on your own. This video pairs up with a much further in-depth written review that you can find on GamingTrend.com. But rest easy, intrepid adventurer, there are no pitfalls or traps here. The storyline in Dragon Age Inquisition focuses on a cataclysmic event. A tear in the Fade causes a massive explosion that kills scores of delegates during a peace talk between the Templars and the Mages. It's now up to a band of unlikely heroes to prevent this mysterious tear in the Fade from destroying the world of Thetis. That is, if tensions between the Mages and the Templars don't destroy it first.
All were caused by the explosion at the Conclave.
There are two major improvements in Inquisition that help it rise above its predecessors as well as its contemporaries: the transition to a completely open world, as well as the reintroduction of a tactical camera system. With the press of a button, you can pause the battlefield, selecting individual commands for each character. In this way, you'll win the battle by inches instead of letting it run in real time. In practice, I found that I used a combination of both, setting up my starting volleys and then let things run in real time for all but the most difficult engagements. On all three current-gen platforms, there are a few hitches with the tactical camera. It tends to stick to the environment as it rolls over the terrain. On consoles, the selection system in tactical uses the right thumbstick, which also moves the camera. Obviously, this takes a little getting used to, with mouse and keyboard on the PC being a much easier control mechanism. Overall, though, it's a very welcome reintroduction, and it adds quite a bit more strategy to battle. Since this game uses the Frostbite 3 engine, the game looks pretty fantastic. The PC holds a serious edge with its, quote, fade-touched texture detail options, but it's no slouch on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. You can check out our comparison video to see exactly what I mean. The 900p versus 1080p debate is absolutely pointless, as it's nearly impossible to tell without running them side by side. Both consoles remain stable at 30 frames per second, and a moderately equipped PC can handle this on high or ultra pretty well at about the same frame rate. If you have a choice, and you want the most detail possible, obviously play it on the PC. If you don't have a capable PC, there's nothing to worry about. Inquisition looks pretty damn great on all current-gen platforms. There are two issues that come up on all current-gen systems. Occasionally, the camera has entirely the wrong focus during cutscenes. The camera will become stuck behind a patch of grass or leaves that were in the foreground when the scene started. There are also a handful of Havoc's physics engine oddities, which has eyes rolling in odd places or the occasional cape stuck in mid-flight. Thankfully, these are incredibly infrequent, happening maybe half a dozen times over the course of over 60 hours of content.
Bad for morale would be an understatement.
The voice acting and music in this game are astonishingly good. Trevor Morris, the composer behind the Tudors, the Borgias, and Vikings, has outdone himself here. He's joined by the always incredible litany of veteran voice actors and actresses who bring this fantastic story to life. David Gator and his team at BioWare have raised the bar with 150 hours of gameplay and far more lore hiding in every book and scroll. You're in for something very special here.
We had to do something, and now we have an opportunity.
I'm not ignoring multiplayer, but we'll be covering that in another piece. Check out our YouTube channel or GamingTrend.com for a full run of all three multiplayer maps. I may have completed the main mission of Dragon Age Inquisition, but it has so many more stories to tell. I can't wait to start over and immediately play it again. When was the last time you said that about any game? We're giving Dragon Age Inquisition a 95 out of 100 and immediately nominating it as a candidate for Game of the Year and RPG of the Year. Check out GamingTrend.com for the full review. And if you like what we do here, subscribe. If you don't, subscribe and see what we do next.